privilege to be here actually after so many years of industry working, and it's always been fantastic meeting so many young folks. Especially if you guys are interested in the topic like machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, right? So the subject I have been very excited for the past 20 years. Now this is longer than most of the industry. I'm a speech recognition guy. Speech recognition, well, extended to be like language modeling, machine translation, text to speech, and all those kind of things. I have been to 5 or 6 speech recognizers in various companies, like Intel, because we know that Intel has been doing speech recognitions. And I've been working on a startup, building embedded speech recognizer on itself about 15 years ago. No, you have Siri everywhere, but 15 years ago, that's a challenge. And then I've been to spend a few years on the IBM T.J. Watson Research Center in New York, Westchester, as the top-notch speech researcher in the field, working on the speech recognition, various things I'm talking about. I've also been connected with many universities, like UW, Stanford, and also with Nuance, right? I have many friends in Nuance working on this subject. So I've been in the subject for like 100 years, 15 years. But last few years I've been doing the security research, also using machine learning. If you guys, you're hackers out there, if you do the, analyze the data, you do the hacker research. So I appreciate so much Dr. Robinson invited me here to share a little bit about my speech recognition and natural language processing background. So I have a lot to talk about. This is a whole semester course, suppose, week 2. So I will try to, present the knowledge, which I think in this short period of time, I hope it should be like 40 minutes around, and then give 10 or 15 minutes for Q&A. So that should be it today, right? I would focus on speech recognition. Right? I thought you mentioned natural language processing. That's another big area. So speech recognition is a sub area of natural language processing. So if you talk about natural language processing, we have dialogue method, right? And natural language understanding, right? So things like sentiment analysis. Right? So a lot of other topics, but I won't talk about that today. But for speech recognition. That sounds good? Good, right? So questions? As you can see, the major thing I want to show you is why I love this field, speech recognition, 20 years ago, but still not today. Right? Yeah. So Randerson just sent me a few links to see if I'm interested. I said, of course, I'm interested in this. So the major task of speech recognition is doing this. It's simple. You get a voice. I'm speaking here. If you're a computer, not you, would your computer translate what I am speaking to the text, right? So the input is speech. And here somehow you have a speech recognition. And output would be text. Transcript. That's well defined. The problem is how to get it started. How to get it started. It's still for a human, 3 or 4 years can do that. But for machine, how could you do it? So of course you can imagine how there are 2 parts involved. One is I'm producing these physical waveforms, right? How do machine make anything out of it? We have to understand this acoustically, how this speech gets produced. So this is the acoustic side of the story. We have to understand this physical thing I'm going to produce. What is it? How to translate, interpret, effect, recognize. But there's the other part of it. It's about grammar, the syntax, right? So I'm talking in English. Believe it or not, there's a rule. Certain word has to be after, certain word. You cannot get these random orders. So there, I would say, there are language side of the story. Language side of the story. So you have to obtain knowledge from both sides. For our electrical engineers, so I'm mostly focused on this field. This is not good. Acoustic signal processing. Dr. Renter told me you guys are mostly higher level of undergraduate in electrical engineering. So you'll have the probability and the signal processing and those kind of. So then you will get most of what I'm talking about. So acoustic side, how do we know what they're doing? Well, the people, initially, the first area We studied some speech production. So human talking is very different than your motor mowing that noise, right? It's different. It has internal, intrinsic how this speech is produced. This helps us, right? So this is the field many people get started with. And then when you understand a little more about it, you have to get the raw speech data. Just take recordings. At IBM, we have a huge, shelf of data. Many of them are like 40 years. People keep writing male, female, northern, southern, accent, all those kind of speech. You have speech problems. So this is the first thing you will do: collective speech. So if you want to do some research, TIMID or TI digit, TIMID is kind of, speech very closely balanced for the corpus. It has coverage of every phone, right? So those are a good place to start. An easier version is called TI digit. It's just different people say about different numbers, like telephone numbers. Right? So those are kind of basic things if you guys want to do your stuff. You've got a bunch of data. Now, if the data is presented to you, what do you do with it, right? So how many of you have seen the actual speech form in the computer? Have you ever seen it? You see this, right? What does it feel like? It's waveform. It's like this. This, for example, is a book. This is speech waveform. It's all like this, right? Well, then how do you know they're talking about this is a speech?
Compare it to another word.
Cannot? Okay, that's a good way. So, what's your name?
John.
John, okay, John is saying, okay. John has a different way of saying this is a speech, right? This is John's word. This, well, he may be a little slower talker, if I assume, is a book. This is John's word. I say this is Dagan's word. This is my version. Then how do you compare this and talk the same thing? This is the first thing. This is not solving the thing what he's talking about here, but you see the challenge, right? How do you compare it? So the thing is, it's not giving me a good representation of what the speech actually is. At least to the computer point of view, human brain has a very complex, mechanism to digest those kind of things and told us this is saying this is a book. But machine doesn't. So we need a module to leverage. I hope, let me go over this high level thing. It's called feature extraction. Feature extraction. Right? So when it comes to speech waveform, somehow we use the mathematics what we've been learning, digital signal processing, probability theory, convert this to a thing called feature. It's a vector form called feature vector. This is what we deal with. And this feature has this formula. Okay, no matter is Dagan speaking or John speaking, after this feature thing, this, if you're looking at this, right? So those looks different. They're maybe male, female, younger, or older. But after the feature vector, all the inactive thing, they're looking very similar. Other than this waveform, they will look very different. Okay? So this is what a good feature extraction thing is there. A lot of research here. That's why electrical engineers need to be involved in speech recognition. Mostly here. Right? Produce the kind of, I'll talk about if I have time. The briefly high level will be how to get this. And after you got the speech kind of thing, this phonetic. I haven't talked about phonetic. So if I say this, you have the, it's three phonemes, we call phonemes, 3 units of speech. Right? That's the basic unit we're trying to get. So then we need to model, after you got this speech record, then we need to model, how these phonemes behave, right? The it's this. A, what does A look like, right? What does look like? Okay? If is before E, what changes should we make to this, right? Because this and obviously S. Oh, sorry. So that may be kind of different given the context, right? Or books. When we're talking about books, that's somewhat different than this. That's, believe it or not, especially initial parts. So those are the things we are doing the acoustic modeling, and this is also the area of electrical engineering. So can we use some internal probability models to memorize after you see so many X? We see so many male, female, put all those data together. Can we leverage information to build a model? Somehow this model could immediately recognize if future S is coming, we know it belongs to S. We build a model. So the things I'm talking about is, the example given the context is, it's mostly for the past 30 years, I mean before the year 2006 or 2008, that period. The past 30 years, there's only one dominant model called hidden market model. The last 10 years is different. So we'll talk about that. Acoustic model. So this is the hidden market model. A lot of statistics, probabilities, and how to train it. Right? You have a lot of data, how to train, how to make the raw noise robustness, gender robustness, age robustness. Right? No matter, this is a huge topic. Huge topic. So most speech recognition companies, go to IBM, go to Nuance, go to Microsoft. Most people are doing on this field. Okay. So now you've got a acoustic, very high level structure. All right. So let me try to finish, the language side. So the language side is there are two parts of the models. So the one part is, like I said, this. If you say this, well, this means this, right? Means the, a, s. I'm just giving three symbols, right? The thing is given a new language, for example, English. How do you decompose this language into individual phonemes? In another way, I don't know why in elementary school where you learn English, how do you learn it? So when I say this, your teacher present, okay, there are three sounds out there. The is. So how do you produce this? I mean, this is called lexicon model. This is lexicon model. Given a language for every particular word, can you produce a phonetic representation like this for every single word? So not a lot of you mention this because this is kind of a solved problem for English. So for speech recognition, then if you go to the CMU, the website, they have CMU dictionary. That's dominant. People have been arguing for English how many particular phones should be there. This used to be researched like 20, 30 years ago. Should there be 40 phones? Should there be 60 phones? Right. People argue about that. Of course, there are rooms out there. So, but most people agree English should be like this. But if you're doing speech recognition for another language, let's say Farsi, because I have to do that. Dara found this project to represent Iraqis. So I do Farsis. In the total world, not a lot of people speak it. Even in the different village, people sound very different. So we collect all those, transcriptions, people talking about Farsis. Wow, what kind of different phones are there? Right? So this is the kind of things when you're developing a new language. For example, Mandarin. If it's Mandarin, the phones should be very different. So this is something you should have a model, a lexicon model, how to translate a word into phonemes. And the other thing, we'll call it language model. This is the most people are doing with. This is another part also. Language model, in other words, is about how those words are ordered. If I say this is, if I say this is, A, all right? So what should be the word after A? You have knowledge, right? This kind of knowledge. If I say this is a is, or something wrong, no, it cannot. Even though acoustic may be possible, but not likely, not mandatory. So this could be the knowledge. This cannot, be a word or something, right? Something like that. But how do you get this knowledge? How do you get this knowledge? Programming, okay? Well, that's the people do like 30 years ago. I have a lot of these people. I heard those old people talking to me about how they do this. Initially, they do exactly like John used to suggest. They build a grammar. They hire a lot of linguistics, people in Oxford, right? So they do their whole life study human grammar, this word. Well, they need to find out these rules. They can very quickly build a rule. After noun, they build a tree. This after nouns, but immediately find out that's not robust. You can never build a rule, a rule set that's good enough to cover every possible way of speech. It's very hard. You add this one, add that doesn't fit. It fit on this, fit on this. No. Well, the other way is, this is John used to get this is rule-based language model. Rule-based. Humans craft the rules to determine what order of word they belong to. But the other thing, which people dominated the last 20 years, is called statistical language model. The idea is, I assume there's no linguistic involved in this field. I'm sorry, but so we will collect a bunch of text data. Do we have a lot of those data? Yes, believe it or not. We have a lot of those data. It's like, I'm a baby, I'm learning this English. What I do, if I know reading, I could read a lot of text, right? Even though you don't have knowledge, if you read much enough, there's some knowledge you can build from those data. So statistical language model is the way we use a lot of data to build a model. This is the dominant approach here. So at that time, I will talk a little bit about how we build this. It's very simple, but very complex model cannot beat this very simple model after the years. Until recently, people find out the deep learning, the recurrent neural network, may do slightly better if combined with, we call it, n-gram-based language model. So those are the models that we need for speech recognition. All right. So if you guys play with any speech recognition engine, you may need those three components. Okay, you can find it. So when these are ready, we are ready to build something, right? So remember the task we're getting, right? So and then if let's assume that speech is coming from here. Let's say here the speech, a waveform, a recording comes. Okay, this speech waveform comes. And then we need this magic decoder. We call it, normally we call it decoder, a speech recognition decoder. Okay, so this is the decoder. Decoder takes the speech, and then it takes the feature extraction, compare about the features. And then, they take the input from the acoustic model. What acoustic knowledge are we building on? And then it takes the input from the lexical model. Do we have a dictionary about this language? And then they take the knowledge of language model. What kind of word orders are there for us to realize? Those knowledge, we go speech, and then if we're doing good enough, we're going to use text now. So this is a very high level thing. How the speech recognize how that works. Any questions at this stage? Now I hope I can dive in one or two topics. Because each topic is a pretty big topic, actually.
Yes. For feature
Extraction.
extraction. Yeah. So I guess it would be analyzing like a waveform, wavelength, amplitude, stuff like that.
Yes. The feature extraction builds this, but the thing is, how do you analyze this? I can talk about it. That's very related to us. Yeah. So, did you guys want to do something like digital signal processing? Until take something, then you know why do we do sampling, right? Nyquist, right? Those kind of things. So because these waveforms, let's start from a little bit ahead, so that will help you understand. Many people don't, researching it, they don't study speech production. I find this very useful. Why? How is speech produced? With lungs right here, right? Do you remember? There's a thing called pharynx, you have a mouth. So the actual model, there's my advisor at the University of California is actually in this field. But I'll see why this is related. Why this is related, especially when we talk with the electrical engineer. How this speech got produced? Well, you had a lung, right? And here is a tunnel. I don't know how to call it. And there's a pharynx. And then there's one more tunnel if you dive in. And here you have a section called mouth. So this is the lung. And here you have a nose. Right? If you cover your nose when you talk, it sounds different, right? So this is all related. This has to do with physics. Okay, amazing. Why speak? there's a wide range of produce some energy. Used to be energy thinking of you these tubes. What they will do, they'll echo, right? They'll echo, they'll rubber. Depending on the size of those different kind of containers, tubes, people are talking different. Male has a different size. Female have different size, right? Of each and their combination. Remember, you have tongues, you have those controlling the shape of this, managing the output, right? So physics tell you, if you have this enclosed container like this, you are not producing a continuous band of speech. By this, what I mean, you're not producing every single frequency. If this sounds a little hard to do, this has to do with the first step. So because each of the container size is different, if you analyze the speech, if you're given the waveform, you guys know Fourier transform, right? The inverse from each row. So if you take one for me, like here, like A, for example, A, if you take the Fourier transform for this particular segment, what will the Fourier transform give you?
Component portions of the wave.
Portion of the wave. Well, it will give you something like this. If you did the Fourier transform, you may observe 3 or 4, sometimes 2, 3 peaks. Why these peaks? Because these components, they are each internal frequencies in the speech signal. So if you do this, you do Fourier transform, this is Fourier transform. It's like this. You got the Fourier transform. Some peaks like this. This is called formants of the speech. Right? So if single one, you got this. But then you have the continuous one, how you do it. What's the idea? Sampling. Okay, you got a sampling, you got data type signal. You will sample it, but still that's a lot of speech. Can you do a Fourier transform like very big? Then you mix everything together, right? This, you have to find something that's like internal to the phone, right? So this is called a short time Fourier transform, critical for speech termination. You have to cut the speech into the little windows, right? So for example, people do this. Not for example, most people do this. So the window length is 25 milliseconds. This is the unit people analyze speech. Every 25 milliseconds, you put a window, extract signal, and do Fourier transform, everything like that. So, and then this thing will become like that. And then the next one, you give it an overlap. So this overlap is 10 milliseconds. You do another 25 milliseconds, right? You just keep doing this for this speech signal, right? Then you've got a series of vectors, a series of this Fourier transform. So, and then if you go to any, just do anything, this form will do, when there are vowels, like I, you will see very strong formant structure. They make it darker. If it's the consonants, not vowels, it's more like continuous. Because there's no vibration there in your vocal cord. So, if another vowel is like this, another vowel is like this. So, this is the first step. This is simply doing the Fourier transform. Well, then many people say, okay, after you do Fourier transform, you got a vector series. Then what do? You just compare this vector series, right? So if this John speech and Dagan speech, waveform is different. But if you do Fourier transform, you look at spectral way, that may be quite captured, salient to capture our commonalities. This is exactly people do. But we find that's not robust enough. I think ways to improve it. How do they improve it? So this is the term, robust term, MFCC, coming into play. Mile scale frequency for a capsule coefficient. Yes. So the thing is, you got this frequencies. You can look at here. Look at this back. Let's say this is frequency. And when people research, they do those biological things, they research, they find out not all frequencies are equally important in terms of recognizing the speech, right? Certain band of frequencies can be more important than that. So what we do, we give more precision to the band that are more important, right? So they kind of cut it in the non-even spacing kind of thing. Okay, non-even. For example, the lower band may be more dense, the higher band, they may cut it more wide. Alright. So this is called the mile scale. First, after the FFT, they did power structure. I will skip those details. After those mile, the scaling of the band, So we just do the transformer of the Fourier transform. After the mile scale frequency in this filter band kind of thing, and pass a little thing called DCT, discrete cosine transform, another signal processing. The purpose is to do the decorrelation. And then you got this feature vector called MFCC. I say it very short time, but people spend years of research to figure out, why this works. There's another model, not MFCC, called LPCC. It's more related to this kind of production model. Also be used, but MFCC is more popular. If you know what this is more linear prediction cascade coefficients, something like that. Yeah. So those are kind of the basic features, short-time features used to model speech.
You use a band pass filter in the metal part, or is it before that?
Good question. That's a whole lecture. Yeah. So, So the question is, after you do the Fourier transform, how do you band this? This is called, this period is called filter bands. Do you guys learn this? You have the whole band, right? Let's say this is Fourier transform. This is F, right? So this is frequencies. So if you have something like this, right? But you want to, this is, by the way, this is discrete. That's what John mentioned. Did you feel, how do you get this? Exactly, we use filter bands. Right? The thing is, you build filter like here. You build filter like here. Filter like here. Keep cutting and collect energy inside the filter, and then got those things out. So this is, you call it mile scale vector. So right about this. And then you do a little DCT, to decorrelate most of the things. That's the premise of it goes. All right. Then probably I will talk a little bit about, after you got the feature vectors, how do you do the acoustic model? How do you do the acoustic model? So the idea is, for example, the example I just gave. Let's say you got this. You got 3 phonemics. Well, let's say you got this. You got this I. What consideration you should take? Well, try to build a statistical models out of it. Well, I just mentioned one thing, which is context. Context should be different, right? How do you take the context?
You look at the things around it.
Yes. What before it? What after it? Initially, people do this. People do just take the phones before I. This is called biphone. We don't know what's that. But more, the later one, that's not good enough. Let's take both before it and after it. What is it called? Triphone, right? It's called triphone. That's the most time we're using. Taking the context, even people do more. But then we have a problem. What problem? The context before, let's say, how much? Let's say you have 60 phones. There were 64 different combinations. There were 64 different after. How many other? 64 times 64. A few thousand. Then what do you do? 64 multiply 64. You have so much, even for a single I, you have so much kind of context to play with, right? How much data you need to model each? That's hard, right? This is exactly research problem we were doing 20, 30 years ago. Well, then people find ways. Well, do not be that precise. Let's say all the nasal consonants together. Right? Let's put all vowels together. you put different groups so that it doesn't require that much of the data. It's more generalistic. And then people find out, even for that, we don't rely on linguistics. We also use data to tell us what groupings we should take. This is where the decision tree is coming to play, to how to use those different functions to group those. All right? So this is the way historically we model this, but we have a new way in the the deep learning method. So which grows. But they haven't solved another problem, a very, very big problem. Do you guys see why this even the method I got here won't work? Because it's lacking a huge leap in order we do this. The step we're missing is, remember here, in order to model this I, we need to collect all those waveforms manage this I, right? You want all this waveform I out here. If I say this, John said this, we have two different I's, right? And two different waveforms. How do you know that part's I and that part is I? How do you know? Right? So this is my waveform. This is John's waveform. How do we know at what time segment we're saying I? This. Dagan's I and John's this. What do we do? Right? We only know this is a book, but we don't know which part is I. So this has been the most hard problem. The initial step, what people say, okay, let me hire someone. Okay, let me say, let's say this guy Jason, okay, he has, work on McDonald's, so he keeps you bored. He likes to do some research, but then, okay, come here. I will present you this speech, and then you can tell me what he said John's speech. He said this I. You give us beginning, give the end, and we hire a lot of those folks too. What's the problem of that method? Very expensive, and you cannot produce a lot of high quality misalignment data.
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, it appears to me the nose, the mouth, and the different parts of the speech centers would be operating at different frequencies.
Yes.
Produced the same way. So if you could find similarities between mouth, nose, and larynx, then you can determine what the eye is.
Yes. Well, that's the production. Yeah. Well, you're accidentally mentioned another big branch of speech, which is called text-to-speech analysis, which I didn't mention here. TTS is called. You're more in a production way of saying what I should look like. I should look like. By analysis in this nose, when you produce I, you have internal your mouth, your nose, your tongue, and your mouth shapes. But somehow then you could analyze those physical mechanism, do an MRI maybe, getting the shapes and analyzing what the output should look like. Right? So this is the production side. But John, if I get what you're thinking is, if we know that mechanism, then we can dive into the spectrum, find some similar things look like I out there, right? There's still a problem. How do you capture those, right? Those are even harder. It's a good idea, but those are even harder. So this is a part of hidden Markov model coming into play. Okay. Hidden Markov model is, for example, this is a book. We got this speech. This is nothing short of a magic. That's why no other model can compete with hidden Markov model for fast 30 years. So this is a book. How do we know the alignment? Hidden Markov basically say, okay, alignment is hard. Guess what? I don't need it. I don't need it. What I need is simply you tell me what this guy is speaking. I only need to know this is a book. That's very easy, right? That's quite easy. You just ask a guy, John, okay, could you say this is a book? And could you say other bits? Okay. I had a greasy wash water and Timmy did this. Very well balanced for me kind of sentence. We ask about 100, 200, each one you talk 2 hours, 3 hours, cheap enough, but you got a very big corpus, right? So, but here Markov can take care of that. How did I take care of it? For the trainings, acoustic modeling. At first, convert this transcription word-based into a sequence of phonemes. Then, how do they do it? That's the modeling. Remember, I had the dictionary. Right? So you got the book, and then you convert the actual sequence. This is you got this pulse. Right again, and also you had a waveform out here. You know, waveform out here. Then how do you know which one map to the, which one map to D? How could you know that? Well, this is another maybe one semester course. This is how the market model built. They're assuming, like I said, each from these, first of all, they assume it has a few states. This is how I'm talking about the hidden market model. So it's talking about this I each from these, it has 3 parts. If you use 3-state model, right? Each I has the I prime part, you call minus I, and I part, and plus I, let's say. And a 3 state. With each state where they are, we don't know. But we know there's 3 states. And each state how long, we don't know. But we know there's 3 states. So we translate each phone into this triphone kind of structure. Begin, you see we're expanding, right? Every phone we expand into this triphone structure. All right. So other than that, still doesn't solve the problem, right? We got phones, and then so this is the phone level, and then we got the state level. We got state level, right? So we got hidden Markov model, hidden state. Why is it hidden? Because we don't know where it is, where it starts, where it ends. That's called hidden. So we got this 3-stage model, like here. You know, each one is expanded. So, and then what do you do? For hidden Markov model, there's a statistical framework. So it can automatically, I mean there's an algorithm called forward-backward algorithm. Super beautiful, if you can understand it. So forward-backward algorithm. Given enough speech, what they're trying to do is to maximize the probability of the output given those funny sequence. That's the one-sentence description. But the internal, there are complex, algorithms, to do this forward-backward algorithm. So anywhere you go to speech recognition training, you will see this thing. They will try to take every speech, they will compare parallel. In IBM, they used to have 30, 40, hundreds of computers doing this parallel, doing this forward-backward parallel, trying to find alignment. So, and then after if you have enough data, then the speech training will automatically give you where those I is. Is it magic? It is. It is. It's performing unbelievably well. Unbelievable. I'll say this, even for the deep learning, this thing, people doing this step, I've heard people still, I'm not exactly sure how this advanced last few years. People still using this hidden Markov model, for example, HDK, to do those alignment. This is a super exciting thing if you guys could do. HDK has a very good tutorials. You can do this thing by yourself. For example, you have 10-minute corpus. You just follow their procedures. Then you will be amazed by yourself that you could know where this I is, where the is, where S is. And then you compare the original form. It's very accurate. Just this. Here, it doesn't take any model yet, right? But performing this alignment. And then with this alignment, of course, you can build, what is A, this I, if phones is what they are. Okay. So this is closer. Let me try to wrap up 10 more minutes. So for the decoding, let's say you have a model for I. Probably I will talk a little bit about language models. How do you do the language models? Because for HTTP you will need this. Right? So how do we say this is a book? Well, want to say what's the probability of is, and then after is is. Okay, so what note is? Let's just this note. Okay. The probability of the book given the prior two word is a. How do you calculate this probability? Ask. What's the probability of is there of the book? How do you give the probability number from 0 to 1, right? So how do you know given so much tests. Then you will do this. Let me try to refresh your memory. So you will say, okay, how many rewords is a book appear? Okay, and then how many is a appear? Okay, that is the probability. You got total set, you have this particular occur set. This gives you the conditional probability. All right. So this is nothing but n-gram model, right? And it's very, very simple. It just is. It's very simple. It just counting how many occurred and given the simple division. This is one classical way of defining probability. There are other ways to define probability, the Bayesian way, but this is the counting-based definition of probability. So is a appear even more? Right? All those is a occurs. How many is a book after? Well, there's a probability. In sometimes we don't see is a at all. We only see a. And what do you do? You don't have a probability of book of is a. You only have the probability of book given a. You don't have this because by limited by our training set, we may not see this context at all, but it actually could occur somewhere. So this is part, but this is a lot easier to collect as well. This is called backup model. This is called trigram model. You have three words involved, trigrams. You see pentagrams, fourgram. So, and this is called bigram. And even what's the probability of book? This is called unigram. That's not even any context. What's the probability of a book appears in every word? Put all the word counts and as a denominator, you put the number of books as the denominator. Unigram, bigram, trigram. So this is the lambda model. So this is super quick. But for the decoder, once you got a acoustic model, you got a speech, you first do those compare, right, with the original models you get. Then you kind of likely the phonetic sequence of it. And then what do you do? From those phonetic sequence, they're constrained by those lexical models. Which paths look like a word? They look like this, right? And then imagine you have a big network. Right? This is called a viterbi decoding. This is another nothing short of magic thing. So you have this phonetic lattice, called a lattice. You search from those things, and then you see which path has more look like a word. It's not a word we don't imagine because we know this guy is talking English, right? So which word, and then when that word is set apart, then we'll see after this word, what will be the next word? Here, acoustically, you have some knowledge, but linguistically, from language model, from here we know after is a book, it's more likely than hook, for example. Something like that, based on their language model probability, right? So you're taking all those considerations. Language is going out of the force, so that's come out. What I have describing has been dominating this field for 30 years. Until the year 2008, 2007, nobody could change anything that people got invented almost 20, 30 years. It's just until that period, Dr. Hinton, at Berkeley, they just, let's say, we don't need this. Okay? We probably don't need this at all, all those couldn't fit them out. Let's say, image of speech, let's plug it in something, like a human brain. The output could be the model. So, as I said, but I'm not fortunate enough to be involved in that research, but that's a super exciting research. If you can figure that out, how that works. And that's exactly, you go to Apple, you go to Microsoft, you go to IBM, any word class speech organizer, they're using this right now. Because I'm very fortunate enough in the field of doing this type of model. They produce amazing results. It's very fast, but it has a problem. The problem is, we'll call it general, over training or what. So the test data has to match your training data in some way. So that's always the limit to generalize the error. But for the deep learning model, what I see, for the existing benchmarks, they are doing, extremely well. So that part, that's, I look forward to collaborated, in some with Dr. Robinson. And some of you, if you guys interested, extend this level of framework, right? Speech recognition to more stuff. This, after my years of experience, I find this is an easier problem. When the leader, you're talking about the natural language processing, that's even harder. That's even harder. Language model, easy. But how to understand what I'm talking about, it's hard. Nobody could solve it. It's so hard. I know a lot of folks spend years until they retire, they cannot solve this problem. Still not. For example, what I'm talking about, am I mad? How do you know? How do I mad or happy or excited? Super hard. How do you know? It's natural language processing. If customer give Amazon the thing you buy, give a review, right? Do you know this guy hates this product or like this product? How do you know that? Well, human read it, we know immediately, right? But how can machine know that? That's a lot harder problem than the speech recognition problem. So, but you see, as you see, I hope you guys feel excited about this field as I do. So this is fun, very challenging, very rewarding, and I hope this would help you somewhat in your career, whatever you will do in the next. So, but I will take some questions. A few minutes. Since then, any talking.
I have a question.
Yes.
You can usually use speech recognition to see if somebody's lying or not.
Lie or not?
Is that true? You see the inflections in their voice and determine that they're lying or not. Could speech recognition ever get to the point that it's so good that you could use that in like courtroom settings?
That's a fantastic idea, but I want to call it speech recognition. That's another field. I know people at FBI, they do those kind of things. They hear, they monitor your heartbeat. I'm not sure they're in speech, but my lab at USC particular, my colleague, is now in South Korea. He did particularly in that emotion recognition, right? So lying maybe, just lying, talking to, it's not that kind of problem. And maybe something changed to the normal basis. That's another good research. I mean, if you want to do that, well, the first thing you would collect some speech when people are lying, and then compare with the normal. And then you do all those feature analysis, right? To get it right and compare. That's fun subject. Yes.
What's been one of your favorite applications of your work so far? One of the ones that excites you?
Yes. Wow. Yeah, that's good. I hope I have another hour to talk about. So, well, believe this is one of the DARPA funded projects. When people go to like another country, for example, if you go to, let's say, I don't know, maybe you go to like a very small country in Africa, right? So you never heard about this language. So the application I was building at IBM is called Speech Translator. We have this product now. If you go there, you don't know any language. You go to that village, you see an older man, I'm going to talk to you, right? Then how do you talk? You take out this device, you say English, and this device output will be the language in their native language, right? And that guy, old man, well, he seems to understand, and then he starts to talk. He talks in his language, and then, of course, I don't understand. But he talked to that device, the other translate back to mine, and then I can understand that in English. So you imagine this is the world. We have language barrier, but with speech recognition, the barrier could be removed. Everybody could talk freely, and where you go. Right? That's a big deal. So, but that could be true. That could be true. There are applications there. People in Baidu, they're doing this last couple of years. Very amazing language. I personally, though, excitedly believe is also on the language understanding part. To recognize what has been talking is, well, people got a lot of good results from translation, but to understand it, it's real hard. Imagine there's an infant. Let's say this is a book. How can the infant know that he's talking about a book? How do computer know it's talking about a book? You have to give this book to another context where you talk about library, the book maybe in that context. So they can infer this guy is talking about a book. Those kind of things, you teach computer to like human understand this knowledge, different words, and putting different contexts together. That's fascinating. Even I am doing the security research right now. I'm trying to analyze hacker behavior and looking at the request and response they are sending to me. I'm doing this kind of thing. It has bad things going on. So, so yeah.
What about combined speech recognition and like visual recognition?
Oh, fantastic! Awesome. You guys are amazing. Yes. This is a big trend. Actually, my lab at USC we are doing this as well. So that's another big field. Have you guys heard about lip reading? Yeah, lip reading. I'm talking. Well, you just cover your ear, but by looking how my mouth shaped, you know what I'm talking about. Right? This is one field, right? That sounds amazing. How to do it? But audio-visual recognition is always a field. People have been trying. By the time I was doing my PhD at UW, I think, they take recordings. They hope to use mouse, this maybe facial, behavior to help speech recognition to recognize certain words very hard. But as I know the result for that, they don't seem to improve. Number one, not seem to improve a lot. Number two, it's not very robust yet. And also the cost is too much, right? The bandwidth taking the video. But that's another good idea. People are happy. Yes, they're doing that. Yes.
When you're doing the initial language modeling, is there any difference in the way the model is constructed between a phonetic and a pictographic language?
Phonetic. You mean
Yeah,
phonetic model and
when you're building your initial models, I mean, I know it goes out of phonemes eventually, but when you first start.
Well, that's another good subject. Yes, people have been taking, well, as far as most people do, I know what you mean. That's a great idea. So it's what's the name?
Ron.
Ron. So what Ron has been suggesting is when building models, you see words, but you're not seeing the words. You saw the phonetic behind it, right? How could you use phonetic sequence, what you see, to help better improving language models? I'm not aware of any people doing that, right? So, but so far, most of people are just take simple word sequence and building models. But that's another amazing idea. Yeah.
When we're building the language model, are we working from knowledge of grammar rules, or are we using a sort of backwards approach like reading novels and things like that and deriving from this?
Well, that's a very good question. Yes. So, well, the answer will be yes and no. So when we build a language model, do we need to hire a linguist? Do you know each is a noun, is a word, or is zero? A guy like me could do it, right? So you just got a sequence. Assuming it's nothing but number of tokens. Just look at orders, then you build a model. That's it. Zero linguistic knowledge, zero syntactic knowledge. That's amazing of this statistical approach. So yeah, it's good timing. 154. So I have to head out on the 55. It's amazing. So yeah, Dr. Robinson may, if anybody want to collaborate somewhere, Dr. Robinson can contact. All right.
Tomorrow at 5 p.m. we'll be having a meeting with the office for the Constitution, any ideas from that, to perform before we submit it for official registration. And also we'll be loading a drive, a Harvey fund drive from families affected by Harvey. So any tools, extra tools you have, you can bring them to us and see those 6. And we'll use those help the families in the fundraiser drive.
Can we take a for
Yeah, we can